Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, April 20th, 2022 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I take time to notice what I value. And oh my goodness, here we are, Sun in Taurus, and I have so much I want to move through, and I usually get so jumbled in my mind when I have all these things I want to move through, but I'm going to try really hard to bring it all the way through. I actually want to start with my shirt. First day of Sun in Taurus, I am wearing one of the alignment shirts by Live Gratitude, and the mantra that is written in this shirt is, I live in the flow and abundance of life. I was going to say light, but light and life. And if you are interested in these clothes, in these shirts and underwear with intentions in it, there's a code Gaia Blooming for 10% off, and I will post that in the link below. So that being said, let us dig into Taurus. And I spent so much time today digging in the dirt and in nature, really working to figure out what to bring through for this time of Taurus. This season of Taurus is quite intense as we are going to have 2 eclipses as we move through this time, one of them being in Taurus. It also has extra oomph to it because we have the North Node currently moving through Taurus, which is like kind of the North Star for all of us to move in this direction. And so as I was feeling through that and just our focus on values, it really made sense that that is the theme to really move through with Taurus. Although there are other Taurus aspects that we'll dig into, that's kind of the theme because value is everywhere in everything. You place a certain amount of value on everything in your life, whether you are conscious of it or not. And my feeling is to work on making that conscious. Like, what is the value I place on this? Whether the value you're placing on whatever the thing is time or energy or money. I'm sure there's other things as well. Attention. Regardless of what the value you are placing on it, the value energy you're placing on it, does it equate with how you value it? Like if you value, for instance, your family, but then you're spending very little time with your family, how is that working out for you? How is that in balance, right? Or if you value your health and yet, spend your time eating McDonald's, how is that, balancing out for you? So really being conscious of your value systems, as this is so important right now for all of us to feed more energy, more time, more money, more attention into that which we value, into that which we hold dear, into that which is important to us, rather than things that are not as much. One thing I can say, and I know I do this too, I don't know how much I value my phone, and yet I spend a lot of attention on it, and I do have value for social media. Social media supports my business, right? Social media is a way to connect, so there is value in it, but I think sometimes that value is out of balance. So really being conscious of this, I think, is a major theme. Now, what goes hand in hand with that? Another theme of Sun in Taurus is sensuality, the senses. Taurus is where we dig into our sensuality. It's where we dig into the senses, how we experience the world around us, how we experience, Taurus loves this, the beauty in the world around us. And this is the thing, we are antennas. We have way more than 5 or even 6 senses. Some will say 12, some will say 14. Digging into that is really interesting, but really recognizing at the same time with your senses how you are experiencing the world. Taurus is ruled by Venus, and I also say Earth. Taurus is where we really dig into the experience of the world, and we're called to have a full experience. So noticing that, and again, as you are present, as you are noticing this, chances are you are going to experience your experience of how and what you value in it. So this will help in and through it as well. Now, Taurus can also rule our creativity, our gifts that we have, that we bring to offer. And again, our self-worth and value around these gifts that we bring forward. Taurus can rule money and productivity. It's so interesting because there's definitely two modes of Taurus. And one is Ferdinand the Bull, cow in the pasture, I just want to smell the flowers. And one of them's like, produce, 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 do the thing, do the thing, do the thing, do the thing. And in these, we want to find balance. So even though we are not in Libra, it's working to find balance in ourselves with the production and with the rest. As Taurus is a fixed sign, Taurus can be really stubborn, very fixed. So noticing where you're stubborn. Again, if you are being stubborn about something, is it value aligned or is it stubborn to be stubborn? So really being able to work through that. Tuning into abundance is definitely a wonderful thing. Taurus recognizes that abundance is so much more than just money. Abundance is love. Abundance is pleasure. Abundance is good times with friends. So again, feeding our attention, feeding our value into that which helps us feel abundant is part of our Taurus lessons. I would say with the sensuality piece of Taurus, it's always good to have that in balance as well, not to go overboard. Taurus can definitely go a little bit overboard with anything. Yeah, so this is what we're focusing on for Sun and Taurus. Now, today, Sun is just moving in as I'm recording this video. It actually hasn't quite moved in yet. So we're going to have the Sun at 0 degrees. So it's going to feel a little offline. It's going to feel a little wonky. But even in this wonkiness, take time to start noticing if you're in right alignment with that which you value and the attention, energy, money, etc. that you're putting into something. And it's going to look different for everybody. So do keep that in mind, you know? So this is your individual path, your individual unfolding and lesson. Besides this going on today, we have the moon finishing up in Sagittarius. The moon finishing up in Sagittarius will be squaring Neptune and Jupiter in the middle of the day. Moon in Sagittarius, all the Pisces energy, plus Sun in Taurus at 0 degrees. It definitely may have a lazy cat feel. I will say this, though. Between the Taurus and Sagittarius energy, Buddha became enlightened during Taurus season. It sounds like tourist, but Taurus season. And between the Sun in Sagittarius, Sun in Taurus and the Moon in Sagittarius, I believe that there will be so many downloads coming in, especially as we're moving towards these eclipses. So if you are feeling lazy cat, realize that cats are never being lazy when they are in their Zen state. They are tuning in, bringing in the downloads, and I feel like there may be downloads aplenty, especially if you open yourself up. Remember, you are this antenna tuning in. That being said, your mind may not be ready to fully deal with them. You may have some internal fights. When the moon is squaring Neptune and Jupiter, again, it can be like confusion with the levels of knowledge. I always say hold space because sometimes we need the understanding. The understanding comes after the revelations. So just hold space for that. Moon and Saturn connecting in the morning can help give you a little push through that 0 degree energy. Actually, it's feeling very expansive, that connection. So you actually may be able to get like the ball rolling. Today I felt like the ball was rolling for me for sure. I was planting, getting all that done. Just looking at these cards. But watch out for the shoulds. Don't overdo it. Don't overwork yourself. Moon into Capricorn in the evening is actually going to connect to the sun, especially when the Capricorn energy comes in. Again, finding what your balance is going to be important, to not should on yourself about what you should be doing in your life, right? And that in and of itself is a mastery process. I have the experiencing card, so we're definitely having some lessons pop up, but my feeling is, as you move through these lessons, move outside to nature and let nature help show you different ways of showing up in and through this, rather than moving through the old shouldy ways, right? We don't want to do the shouldy ways. Again, part of the mastery process. There's also some feels that we're going to be moving through. We've got the sorrow, the turning in card. So allow these energies to move through and try to notice, like, with what energies are you sensing these things? Where is this coming from? And I don't know, I think moving through value, holding a little space for valuing your personal process. So we're going to leave that there. You can book an eclipse reading, winding down the time where we can have this before the eclipse comes. The first eclipse will be on the 30th. So if you'd like to do that, book that. This week is all fully booked. I do have some times for next week. You can always get a regular reading as well. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values. Welcome to Taurus season. Namaste.